we have an access and we have a nisbah with this individual through your noble father, alhamdulillah, Shaykh Sayyid Khalid Ali Shah Sahib Al-Qadri Al-Tahiri. So do tell us a little. You did mention that they spent their whole life from their youth all the way up to the physical departure of Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya. So and you refer to the fact that they were the teachers of the Shahzadagan of Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya. So tell us about their relationship with their Shaykh and how they received Khilafat, because we mentioned earlier about the Hijrah and how it was the tradition of our predecessors to do this Hijrah, to migrate, and also from the hukm of their Shaykh, they also migrated to UK, and it was unknown territory. You would know better because you're of the family, but when we rely upon our family, we rely upon our family support, our baradri, whatever it is, and coming to UK where there's absolutely no sport network here, how you can tell us about that, inshallah.
You mentioned, network, and you're very right that when my father first came to the UK, there was no network, there's no family. My family, I come from a Sadat family myself, from the progeny of Imam al-Hussein through Imam Ali Rida, radiallahu ta'ala an, and these were the great Aimma of the Ahlul Bayt. My great grandfather was a murid of Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad Raza Khan Barelvi rahimahullah ta'ala. My father, he studied with Mufti Abdul Subhan rahimahullah ta'ala, who's the elder brother of Mufti Fazle Subhan in Mardan. So he was a person who had studied the deen and who had an interest in the deen. They themselves did a bachelor in sciences, in biology and chemistry, and they also taught sciences outside of deen as well to their students and to the people. They sold themselves because of their grandfather as a true Qadri. For over 40 years, over 35 years, they have illumined the lamp of Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam every single Thursday, every single week without fail, be it death, hail, stone, sleet, whatever the occasion. They have not forgotten the name of Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam every single week. And this, because of this whole heritage and depth of knowledge, they couldn't find themselves to the right shape or the right beat. And those that are, especially in modern day time, things are very different from how they were. However, a lot of us, we can't seem to find the right person, or where to do bay'ah, should we do bay'ah. Sometimes we come across certain shuyukh and peers, and we feel like they don't, even though they might be great individuals themselves, we feel like we don't fit into their circle, or our hearts don't recognize that relationship as a peer and murid should. However, my father searched for such a person, such an illuminary all his life, because of his firstly connection to Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam, his lineage, and because our family bear directly to Bareilly Sharif themselves. So one of their friends, he recommended that, I know such and such Shaykh, they are from the offspring of Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam, and my father was very young, and he said, all these peers and all of this, we've seen them all, and times have changed now. But please take me to them out of respect. And his friend always spoke so highly of Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya, and as we were to find out why he was so crazy in the love of Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya, we would find out afterwards. But they mentioned that the great presidents, prime ministers, princes, at the time the king of Saudi came to greet Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya. The minister of at the time Ceylon, Sri Lanka, came to visit Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya. The great British and American scientists would come to visit Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya. So my father said, I'm just a normal person. I don't know if I fit into that circle. So they took him to Huzoor Qudwa al-Awliya, and when Huzoor came in, I'm cutting the story very short. My father said, I looked at his blessed face and that noor, and I saw the noor of his grandfather, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam, and the reflection of their grandfather, Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam radiyallahu ta'ala an. And I knew that this is the dar for me, this is a place for me. I cannot now go anywhere else and be bad after I have seen his blessed face, radiyallahu ta'ala an. And then my father, one of the fortunate ones who sat there on his first visit, and his friend said, Huzoor, this is my friend. His name is Khalid, and he's come, to see you, to do your ziyarat, to be a servant. And Huzoor asked them, have you got wudu? Are you ready? And they said yes. And Huzoor gave them bay'ah that first day, that first time, hand in hand, right in front of them in their living room. And for those that know, later on in their life, Huzoor Qudwa Awliya would have mass bay'ahs where 20, 30,000 people at one time would be bay'ah through either a large cloth which we spread out, or in places like Sri Lanka, when thousands of people come to do their ziyarat. Obviously, it was not feasible for every single individual to be bay'ah individually. So Huzoor, anyone that touched their car at that time would become included in the silsila Qadiriya Tahiriya of Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam. So that was how they became bay'ah. Then Huzoor Qudwa Awliya brought them close to them. My father, once again a learned scholar at the time, and has studied many of the sciences. Many of them Huzoor Qudwa Awliya polished up. He taught them. He spent time with them. This is one-to-one. And obviously this one-to-one time with the Ghaus of his time, it's no amount of money or treasure or title. You can put whatever you want next to their name. But the fact that they spent that quality time, that rare time with the illuminary, the person who was passed down from Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam, the Naib of Huzoor Ghaus al-Azam himself, there's no words that I can say or anyone can say that could truly explain the quality and the measure of that time. So alhamdulillah, that was their fortune, that they were great people and they found great people. Huzoor Qudwa Awliya, he write in their books, and there's many books that Huzoor wrote, but in one of the books, Tazkiratul Qadiriyya, Huzoor Qudwa Awliya, he states that a person, a peer, can often be seen from the state of their murids. And we see from the murids of Huzoor Qudwa Awliya, there's no set number, but they say when they passed away, there were over 20 million or 21 million murids, followers of Huzoor Qudwa Awliya, when they passed away globally. So that is how my father, came upon that. And then Huzoor Qudwa Awliya finally chose my father to be the teacher of their 3 sons. So that was teaching academically and dini taaleem as well. So alhamdulillah, and because of that, I was fortunate to spend time with the family of Huzoor Qudwa Awliya, with their children. My teacher, who was the youngest son of Huzoor Qudwa Awliya, Sayyidina Muhammad Ziyauddin Al-Qadri Al-Gailani, Hafizullah Ta'ala, and Huzoor has also blessed to be the person who inaugurated Darbar-e-Ghausiyya in the UK, which my father started, and inaugurated Al-Qudwa Institute. And inshallah, we look forward to their blessed presence and look forward to welcoming them at Al-Qudwa Institute as well.